is now in order. Is that what I said?
Yeah.
All right, so everybody get a chance to look at the minutes?
Yes.
Your minutes are really good. They're very detailed.
Thank you.
Yes.
I had put 4 words down and hit AI button.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah, but we had to have
ChatGPT.
something to work with.
No, I don't.
May I,
Sorry.
Madam
Oh,
Chair?
Yes.
I need to request a revision to the revision.
Can't possibly have a revision.
Okay, is this the time to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. For the 2:19 minutes, which reference the minutes from 1:15, it says, Susan added that an additional line of undisclosed reserve of 140K should be added to the CPA selection. It is undesignated reserve. Big difference. I do not want my name attached to any public funds that are undisclosed. Not a good look.
You don't want to, like, we'll just tell Heather at the office, at the state office. She'll come in and investigate.
Well,
It'd be great.
it's just, it's just a label.
Right. I changed it on the next minute. I
Well,
believe.
yeah, for some reason,
But I
that
didn't go
word
back
just
and-
doesn't want to go away, undisclosed. You must have a secret, I don't know.
Undisclosed.
It's undisclosed.
Okay.
It's none of your big
So it
black.
is nitty gritty, but for the record.
Okay.
Are you the one that would fix it and then send it back to us again? Or do we have to vote on that, or what?
No, I.
We can vote to accept the changes.
Okay.
So we can vote to accept it with the
All right.
changes being proposed.
Where is this now, please?
Okay, it's from the minutes of 115. This was originally in the CPC
Yes,
amounts,
yes,
and it was
right.
the right amount, but just the wrong label.
Okay, and there were,
It is undesignated reserve
on the second page?
of the 115. I don't know what page it's on.
I think it's right on this page.
Undisclosed, undesignated, okay. All right. Designated.
Undesignated.
And you said nest egg was the utility expense account at the same time, right?
Utility fund, I just called it.
Whatever. Okay, sorry to be a
That's okay.
Grinch on that, but
I don't mind.
just really, for the record.
Yeah.
I
You don't wanna be
I don't
anywhere.
want you to know this information. That's exactly opposite of transparency.
Right.
I rest my case.
Okay, does anybody have an issue with changing that? Everybody's okay with that?
I make a motion that we accept the meeting minutes as corrected, amended.
Second it?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All
I
right,
abstain.
one abstain.
I didn't review them. I was
Okay.
That's fine.
doing other stuff.
All right,
How dare you?
We'll let you.
Yeah.
All right.
okay.
I mean, that's truthfully the way you should.
Yeah, no, I
Didn't
agree.
know the
If you didn't
material.
read it, yeah.
I might have, but I didn't.
Yeah, I read them quick.
Yeah.
Okay,
And I
so
read Rick gets them out so quickly that, then I forget.
Yeah.
that,
forming our subcommittees, you guys already have pretty much grants and fundraising covered, you think?
We have the fundraising, some ideas from the past that will be recycled into the future,
Yeah.
right? Do you want to just, I don't know, I was going to say, did people have a chance to read that? Did they get something?
I mean,
This would be the time then to share it, right?
I've got two things. I've got, excuse me, fundraising ideas, and then I've got the letter that I sent to this Sean. These are not set in stone. These are, as I said, ideas. Got another one? I have.
Nope, we got two. Cool.
They just use thick paper. Oh, no. Yeah, it's very substantial.
Yeah, I'm like, why can't I? That's what
It's
Brian
thick paper.
uses. He says it doesn't clog the printer up his back,
Oh, that's probably,
so.
Thank you.
To get the fundraising stuff, I needed to get some questions from the town. So, obviously, you've
I
seen
know it. Well,
Sean's stuff. the email I sent Sean.
Yeah, because I asked what that was about, so she forwarded it to me.
So I'm just,
A lot of the answers, not all of them, but a lot of them I can do minus the food stuff. Because the food stuff I steer clear of because there's too many problems with food being a town entity. I'm not saying they're not worth going, I don't want to deal with it. I'm like, nope,
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 not-
I'm not dealing with
okay.
it.
But if you have answers for us,
I
then I
have
don't have to
some
wait
answers.
for another,
I also have a suggestion. This would be the best place to do a nice, and you gotta be careful when you use the word raffle when you're a town entity.
that's why I was
You gotta be
asking
careful.
questions.
Chinese auction. You can do a Chinese auction,
Hmm.
even though it's raffle.
Yeah,
But how many people walk through this event? And the same with the Lions, how many people walk through?
What's the date on that this year?
This is June 6th, the Hubbardston Fair.
See, that's a whole month ahead. You could do both.
What is-
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You hit
add
all
that
the,
to
you
it.
had all
Fair.
no, but
the,
the problem with the Chinese auction, you need more stuff.
Yeah, you ask people for free donations. You'd be surprised.
Well, we'll put it under consideration, right?
Yep.
The more ideas. we
But
have-
the spot is free for town entities, or at least for the Hubbardston Fair.
What is it, June
You
6th?
can, that's yours to keep.
Oh, you
Oh.
need to have a booth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Booth at Field Day, I mean,
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking
Fair,
field
right?
day.
Yeah.
The fair.
I
We're
got
talking the
field
fair.
day on.
I didn't really,
no,
We're talking the
I'm
fair.
talking Hubbardston Fair. I can't speak to.
Which is in June.
Yes, what date or anything, the Lions usually pick that. It's usually what, the third Saturday of September.
September.
Right.
It's fall more.
Yeah, and Joyce is usually in charge of it, so she'd be a good person.
Now,
But yeah, to do a Chinese auction, you could make a small killing, or you could do something different there. There's lots of options. I'm just saying the booth space is free, and how many people walk through it?
It's good exposure too.
Yes. So we usually have between 2,000 and 5,000 people easily that walk through that.
Joyce did give me an application for raffle permit
Okay? You,
So,
for the Lions?
for the,
No,
us
for
to
anything.
use for the whole year. So that's why I, valid question.
Because usually,
Because if we're gonna do raffle tickets for a quilt or the wood raffle, which,
so the last time I looked into it, which was when Lori Reed was our town clerk. She dug it out and said that because we're a town entity, we have to use a nonprofit, which is what this is.
501c3,
Yeah.
somebody. of
We
some
can't
sort.
be the town doing
civic
it.
service groups?
Which the Historical Society is, a 501c3, correct?
We're not a civic and,
According to previous, when Lori went digging, we would have to go, she told me, very matter of fact, because I was looking at doing a calendar raffle, and
Yeah.
she's like, nope, you're gonna either have to ask the Friends or the Lions or somebody that has,
That designation.
yes, because we're the town. We are a municipality.
Okay, well, we'll chew on that.
well, I'm sure the Historical Society would,
And that, it could be something like that. Somebody would have to use their numbers, which isn't out of the realm of doing. You just gotta ask. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
there's,
right.
there's things that have to go through it, but we're a town, we're a municipality. We are not, a civic would be like the cash committee, the historical society, stuff like that. So that's where you gotta be careful if you do a raffle versus like, you can get away with the Chinese auction. You can, there's certain things you can get away with in skirt,
okay.
but it's very difficult. Food, you can do if you have a 50C, a serve safe, and you have a kitchen that is.
She knows those sorts of things. This
Yeah,
is her area.
but the kitchen has to be,
Now, a bake sale is different than actually
you can't
cooking
do, you
food.
can't do a bake sale for the town.
You cannot.
No, it's too much of a liability.
Okay, I see that.
Unless somebody tells me different, these are the guidelines I've gone through.
Yeah.
Bake sales are, that's why the school like has a tendency not to allow them anymore.
No, she just
It's-
doesn't want to disrupt the school.
It's people
Allergens,
from home
everything.
are baking it,
Yeah.
you don't know. And granted, that's what a bake sale is.
Right. That's-
you were,
What they had
It's
for
the
200
same-
year in their bake sale.
Same with
Yeah.
like a potluck. It's like, this is what it is, people. You're taking a gamble that they knew how to cook and they washed their hands.
Right. It's funny.
But now you're dealing with a municipality, and there's a whole bunch of lawsuit stuff that's waiting to come down the pike.
So
Just
the world we
anyone's,
live in, I mean, we need to recognize that,
yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah.
Now, is there a problem with a plant sale?
No, but the kitchen, but look.
But
you
listen,
could use
Chinese
the
auction.
kitchen at the senior center, because that's inspected to bake with your
see.
serve safe.
That's something to think about.
There's, like I said, I know all the loopholes. I know where they all are, because I've had to find them over the years.
Well, and speaking of the senior center, the bake sale, the plant sale is typically on Mother's Day, and the seniors do the annuals, and the meeting house has typically done the perennials. So it's not a competition, it's kind of a, okay, if you're looking for that kind of a plant, go there.
Yep.
And so it's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm
So
not arguing.
we'll-
I
yeah,
think,
no, we're
no,
just-
I think all
I'm
of
just
these are
trying
good
to,
ideas.
you
I'm
know,
not against
just
any
say-
of them.
To go to the thing that might work the easiest, that doesn't have as many restrictions, plant sale. I mean, we're not gonna sell poison ivy, so.
Why not?
Please don't.
It's a nice ground cover.
Yes.
It's nice and shiny.
Oh, it grows fast, yes.
It's great for disrupted land.
There you go.
But yeah, so, I mean, we can, if you want to dig in with the Board of Health and see what their mindset is, because there is a new chair.
Who is it?
Gael,
Oh,
Who?
from
Oh,
Main
he's-
Street.
he's the chair now?
Yes, he is the chair. Kathy has stepped down from the Board of Health. But like for the Hubbardston Fair, I got the same rules, the same way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but you could see if there's any kind of wiggle room. Sometimes different chairs will give you a little bit more wiggle room than others.
Yeah, but nobody wants a lawsuit. Nobody.
I would say no, but
Well,
that's me saying it.
Unfortunately, in this day and age, if somebody wants to sue you, they're going to sue you no
Oh,
matter
yes.
what.
Yeah, but you
There's
can't give
frivolous
them an excuse.
crap.
Or,
I agree with you completely.
Yeah.
And as
But
I
you
said, if
also
they
can't-
want to cause you grief, they will cause you grief, no
But
matter what
You
you
also want to
do.
limit your exposure.
Right.
Yeah, but you
Anytime
can't
dealing with insurance.
Take
dealing with-
everything out of the, that's like taking everything out
We
of
can
the...
stick with the plan stuff.
Madam Chair, point of clarification, which agenda item are we on?
Well, the
Grants and
fundraising kind
fundraising.
of went
Okay, we-
into Carol's email.
Yes, thank
Yes.
you. We need to probably back off on the current discussion because we once again have a time constraint, and I believe we should
They're coming in,
focus.
someone's coming in at 7?
Well, regardless, we should go by the agenda and by priorities, please. It's just because I can see the dialogue going. I've been quiet, listened for 15 minutes, folks, and I just want to indicate that community use and functions comes down like at 3C, which I think is where we have been talking for the last 5 or 10 minutes.
No.
It's overlap, but.
I
can see how
understand,
that's
but-
overlap,
but
but,
it-
okay, are you at a good stopping place?
Well,
I know
the
we're-
problem is, if we're going to do with the plant sale and stuff, that's time sensitive, because if we get permits from the town to do the bake stuff, that means we need a water permit, which means a water test, which I need to know who does the water test. And then all that stuff has to be shipped in to the Board of Health, which takes time to get it back, to have,
And it's early May.
and it's early May.
Which is basically a month and a half away.
Which is why I'm saying this,
Yeah, it's tight. Well, so what about if we put that on hold, not throw it out, but just on hold and really focus on the plants? Because does anybody see a potential big issue with the plant sale? Other than we don't want to compete with the senior center, we work together.
Right, just don't have the food at this event.
Yeah, maybe not. But then the next question would be, and I'll wrap this up, and then you're going to ask yourself,
Thank you,
well,
Susan.
how could we help, right? Didn't you ask that? Yes, how you can help is if you're a gardener and you're splitting your iris or whatever you have, some ideas from you, other perennials, please share, and if you need pots, I have a bunch of pots, you have a bunch of pots, right?
I do too.
Put them in plastic bags, it works well. as well.
Oh, okay, that's a
That's
thought.
scary.
And I have plenty of compost,
So we're
too.
doing the perennial.
Yes, we're doing the perennial, right? We're comfortable with that? And we have horses and we compost, so if you need a scoop or 3 or, a couple of buckets full of that, because soil is expensive when you're buying bags of soil. So if you're splitting that, or if you have a neighbor who is splitting their bee balm or whatever, just let us know. And one of the people on the garden tour from a few years ago, Laurel, is totally undoing one of her gardens for something, and she wants people to come with shovels, and then basically we do the work for her to take the stuff out. But she said, yeah, I just saw her the other day. So just tuck that away, and if you know garden people, we need it ready to go before the week of Mother's Day.
So
in
we've
hand.
agreed that this is a fundraising function we're gonna
Well,
participate in.
if it's something that the
Right,
committee
is that
thinks
what we
is
decided?
a good idea, we're presenting it as.
Probably
an option.
someone should make a motion that they want.
Okay, since I'm involved in it.
I make a motion that we do this thing and move on.
Second!
Okay, so it's a great spring thing to start.
I'm right there with you.
All right.
And get
All
some
in
people
favor?
in.
Hold on. Sorry, Madam Chair. Discussion is next, and once again, I'm hearing where, it seems to me, we're putting the cart before the horse here. To vote on a specific item that may not be the largest priority, and we have some unknowns. We've talked about permitting and schedule. There might be,
For plant sale, there's no permits.
okay. There's water test.
No,
That's
not for,
Okay,
not for
I'm
the
sorry,
plant. They
I'm
moved
sorry.
all the
I
other stuff.
apologize,
Yeah,
I stand
no,
corrected.
That's okay.
Thank you. But I think that when it's just, we haven't talked budget yet. And to go after small fundraising, we haven't even talked about things like, do we want this facility to be self-sufficient? Do we want it to be cost neutral to the town? Do we want to investigate PPV, public-private ventures, leasing the facility? There are some big items, and I'll stick with the grant funding, seeing that we're on that item. There's some deadlines on grants, so to be talking about smaller items regarding fundraising when we don't even know what our overall direction is and don't, have a budget. I mean, I think we need to address some other things first.
But I think if you crap on their idea, you're gonna stunt it.
Nobody crapped on it.
I'm just saying, if you
No,
stop
no,
them, because
no,
it's
I'm just
May,
talking
not-
about sticking with priorities and trying to get through some bigger items that might require a lot more discussion.
Oh,
all.
definitely.
May I,
But this
Is
seems
this
like
going to
an
be a
easy thing.
self-sufficient, self-funding
Yes, we're not.
fundraiser?
We're
So
not asking, that's
There's no
what-
resources they're going to have to put
Right,
into this.
right, we're
So I
providing
don't see a
that,
problem.
that I would like to make a
Pots.
motion to have you go ahead with this at zero cost to the town.
And we can report back just on the progress next time, okay? But I'm in a good place with it if you are, and I see what you're after, because those are big fish, these are minnows, I get that.
Yep, thank you.
But it's a little something, it can pay the heating bill for 1 month.
It's good for public.
Right.
Public.
So I made the motion
Yes,
to go ahead with this, zero cost to the town, plant sale only.
Okay.
Perennials.
Second.
Okay.
And
Second.
then,
I think we had a motion
I know, we
and a
already did,
second.
and we already seconded it, but that's okay.
So we're done with the discussion.
okay.
Okay,
All in
Moving on.
favor?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cemented.
Opposed? Abstain.
I'll abstain on that.
Okay.
All
As far,
right.
as far as grants, this is the thing I got in the mail. It's,
Oh,
Yeah, MHC, which was March 13th.
yeah, they have
Yep.
a deadline, yeah.
Yes, we kind of
It's
missed
already
that
done.
one, yeah.
we
Okay,
can look
so
at it
the
for next
other
year.
subcommittees, these were just not even recommendations, just ideas. Nothing is written in stone, obviously, but that Facility Needs Committee is also already kind of,
Well, I was not around,
Yes.
so we need to discuss,
Yes.
because
Did you get a text from me by chance?
I did not. But I also had been in Italy for
I
a little while.
understand that. It's
So-
okay, because when you were there, I was kind of busy with snow and ice storms.
Yep, so.
I know, the rest of us.
But I have had the opportunity to look through.
You were on the
and-
Mediterranean?
And no, I was
Sorry.
actually in the Dolomites
That's it.
watching the Olympics, so.
Sorry. Oh, that's nice.
But it was still 50 degrees.
Awesome.
It was lovely.
Awesome.
I don't, are you gonna discuss the whole thing?
No.
or- okay.
What I wanted to say was I had the opportunity to go through, and I share your concern that we got some problems here. So that we should address on this and have an offline, but flowers are the least of our concern after reading this. And I'm not prepared to share all of my 30, this needs to be the first item. Those are my first 30. So, yeah, we do need to address that. We also need to address, as you said, the use and function, but I don't think we can do use and function until we actually address what's wrong with this building.
Has everybody had a chance to read that? It's
Well,
on, it's on. Well, I'm sorry.
Could I just take the lead on
Oh,
this for a
absolutely.
moment? Because
You're speaking
I
the same
will-
language.
I will get with you and we will schedule a time. I
Yes.
did try, but
Yes, and I
trying
did not-
wasn't good enough,
So,
so.
before we leave, we'll talk and get some dates and times down on paper.
So our consultant, I think, did a good job, and he has 5 condition grades, let's call them. I added one, replaced or new, because this will be a living document, and not only are things going to get worse if we don't do something, but when we do something, they'll be either replaced or new. And so I'm just adding, suggesting an addition, so that this can be a longer-term effort. So the quote-unquote conditions are replaced or new, the new one, satisfactory, performing its intended function, serviceable, it's performing an intended function, however, it has defects, fair, system is barely performing its intended function. I stress that one because fair can mean different things to different people. It's not a sucking chest wound yet, but that's the next step. Poor, it's not performing its intended function. And last one is failing. I think that one pretty much, or failed. Now, I had the same question that Susan had. How many people have reviewed the consulting report that we posted in our,
Skimmed
What-
it, did
okay.
not go into depth in it,
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
because I was
Yeah,
like,
same.
yeah.
Same,
Yeah.
okay, all
I
right.
didn't read every word.
So if you go down, there's 11 areas that are covered, and none of them are the replaced or new. Satisfactory, I think there were
were a
both
few.
satisfactory / fair. I'll be done in a moment, Carol. If we could hold the questions to the end so we can get through it. And most of the things end up in the categories of fair, which is why I stressed the definition that he used there. And a couple of things, remember, this was done on very short notice and a very limited amount of time, and I looked into the cost, and I don't know that I have all the costs, but it was done very inexpensively. Okay, thank you.
The new and replaced, they have done a lot, not a lot, well, it depends on what you call a lot. They have replaced toilets, they've replaced pump pipes, they've replaced locks, they've replaced the
The lights.
the lights.
The
They've done,
water tank.
which we need a list of.
Right.
Which some-
And that
The
was actually one of my
security stuff.
questions. Is there a list of those items? How much it cost? Where is the list? Who is responsible for the list?
The former assistant administrator did all of that. Right now, we don't have an assistant administrator?
No,
So we
we have a
need
new
to-
one, but that's maintenance. We have shifted to Travis down to DPW.
Travis.
Yeah, but Tricia was the one that did it. When the new, our new executive assistants start, we can dig through some archives. I can ask Heather while she's still here for this week to see if she can find in the emails, the archives of if there's something she can pull out real quick, because she is doing billing. Because it'd be an easy, in my mind, it'd be an easy search for
Yeah.
just looking for the plumber and the electrician.
Yeah.
To pull them out and see if she can print them off for me. I'm going to see her tomorrow at 10 a.m. So I will see if I can find a list for you, okay?
Because that would be very helpful.
That's
in
essential.
part of-
Yeah, well, we don't want to redo something that we've already done.
Right. Go ahead.
I
Everybody's
believe,
tearing but you. Just kidding, sorry.
Well, I didn't want to cut him off, so.
thank you for acknowledging me. What Betty Ann mentioned has already a month ago been asked, and the interim TA took it for action. I doubt he has had time to address it, but it's been addressed already, from a standpoint of asking the question, very specifically, by the way.
Who did that besides me?
Me.
Oh, okay. Two me's. Okay. Do I? I'd like to just say, that kind of falls into what I mentioned from the get-go, keeping track of the initial amount of money. And while it's fresh in our minds, it's like a murder. The sooner you get on the trail, the sooner you get the facts that you need. I think they're there.
Let me be
Yeah.
in charge. I will take that because I'm the one that's in the offices all the time. I know who to
Okay.
talk to and who
All
to
right.
pluck it from.
And the caveat there for me is, I was waiting for the CPC numbers until Thursday morning of the Thursday night meeting for our CP2. But Marcia did send them.
Okay.
And I said, hey, this looks right up to a point, but I'm sure I'm going to have questions.
Yep.
So, what I'm saying is, these are small potatoes to some of the things that
The bigger dumpster
we all
fires
understand
that I got going
But
on,
at
yeah.
some point, those little fish need to be addressed,
Yes.
because.
Oh, I agree. Let
Yeah,
me
so-
tease it out. I will come
Okay.
back next month.
All right, so we're looking
Hopefully
for
with all the
invoices,
numbers.
which will give us the numbers, and invoices, which will give
original
us
dollar
what
Or
we're
amount.
even
doing.
if it's not next month, but before that,
Well,
when
yeah,
you
if I
get
have
them,
it, I will,
yeah.
yeah.
Because
be-
the only way I knew that fiscal year '25 was finished was by reading the Barry Gazette,
Oh, fab.
So,
It should have been done long ago, but,
I know.
Details.
So you realize what they're all up against, but still, at some point.
You are barely scratching the surface with
Yeah,
what you
that's
guys-
what I'm.
Just
So, yes.
Absolutely
So you're interested in the actual, what was done.
What was
I'm more
done,
interested in the financial. So between.
Which they go
They go,
hand in hand.
exactly. And this is good because it only is since the fall of '25, and we're in March of '26. So it's not like ancient history.
Yeah, it's not like we're trying to dig back for 5 years. you
Right,
know, it's-
okay. So
Although
I think
some of
we can
those
do
things
it.
would be good too.
I think we can do it. It can be done.
Well,
but-
that, I
Right.
don't have any of that
Yeah,
information.
yeah.
That would be a Carol, if she has that information.
Okay. And then the community use and functions, I only thought because of
The temporary.
the calendar and the need to, do we need to, are there people that will call and say, I want to see the place?
Nope,
for a
there's an
potential-"
there's an online form that needs to be filled out by anyone that wants to use it right now, currently. And it has to be currently some kind of entity. In other words, you have to be some kind of nonprofit, you can't be for business. Because you have to pony up a certificate of insurance. If you're a town entity, obviously, we can use it for a plant sale. I just need to know the times and stuff, and I'll take
Sort
care
of
that.
reserve it.
Yeah. All the information ends up coming directly to me via email with the pictures, and I just check off, like, when the Girl Scouts used it, they had to have their certificate of insurance. I need the times and hours. The same with the Republican Party used it. They didn't need a certificate of insurance because they're a town entity. The same with, like, if the militia wants to use it, which they have, They're a town entity, they don't need a certificate of insurance.
Okay.
So you gotta fill out the form, so that way I have it, I can keep track. And I did that on purpose, because we had so much flux and everything that I didn't want to inflict it upon a employee that was already doing double time trying to get through some stuff.
Okay.
So realistically, we need to come up with a long-term plan. This is a short-term plan. I don't mind doing it for a while until we can figure it out, because I don't want anything rushed. It's not a big deal. I have keys, my son has keys. There's certain people that have keys with codes, so that way, just in case I'm not available, I have somebody that can open a door or shut a door for people to do. Realistically, it may become something that this committee decides to be able to check out a key to people to use it. If it's for a town entity or something like that, if it was like for a profit or for a wedding, then maybe we still have a town entity go to it, if that is chosen, like if someone, if
But that's pretty far down the line.
Yes, that is far down the road. Right now, the whole thing has to be redone, and that deserves a subcommittee to redo it. Okay?
But there is something available. if
Yes, for
people
right
want
now,
to.
for people wanting
So
to.
it's kind of a transition
Yep.
thing, but it seems to be working, right?
If
Okay.
folks want to use it to have a meeting or a
function of
or
some sort.
something,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they could bring the food in, they just can't cook it there.
Okay.
When was the last time the building was used?
The Republican Party was on the 28th, so like 2 weeks ago.
Is it?
Yeah, yeah. My son goes in there, maintenance, a couple times a week to check the oil and make sure like everything's, little walkthrough thing, clean toilets, stuff like that, even though no one's using it. Still, you can't leave a building
No.
empty without poking it. I'll go up there and poke in just in case to make sure, check my straps, things like that.
Well, since that subcommittee's kind of further down the line then, is there something that would serve us better, subcommittee-wise? And if you need help with any of that, I'm right across the street. If
You have to have a code.
yeah.
Well, it's specific to the person.
Oh,
It was made, so that way they know exactly who enters.
Yes.
So if something goes wrong,
They don't
I
have to
get
call.
blamed. It's my fault. Say, like Hunter has his own code, so that way if something goes wrong with him, it's his fault. It doesn't get blamed on me, it
I
doesn't
like
get blamed.
that.
There's only a handful of people that have codes
okay.
right now due to the fact that, and I'm not saying that, it can't
Yeah,
change. I
Later
just,
down the road,
yeah.
I'm just saying I'm
Yeah.
available if
I
need
appreciate
be.
that, thank you.
Yes.
If we need to go do something, do a walkthrough or
Yeah.
something.
So our subcommittees then can meet on their own,
Yeah, as long as there's not a quorum.
right?
And that would be 5 or 4? Not more than 4.
4 makes a quorum. So you have to have
makes a
3
quorum.
or
So
under.
3 or under.
Yep.
Okay, everybody's comfortable with that?
Yeah, yeah. So do we think we're looking okay for now then, for our subcommittees? We've got, do you need anybody else on your subcommittee?
As I look around the room, Carol has as much, I think, history on the day-to-day use in the past and what was done. So certainly, I would want her, everybody can provide input. That's why we posted the report. But I think Carol would be the most beneficial. Gary has some very specific items that I know he's aware of that we would appreciate. But I don't know if we need another person per se, and it can be dynamic. We can add.
I'm agreeing with you with the dynamic, because we could say, okay, we really need to know about the balcony issues. Who do we touch base with that? If it's Carol, it's Carol, so we could do it on those things. But I think we need to come together on here are the things that are critical, that we need to get
Yes.
information about. Here's the things that are nice to have, and these are the things that we're gonna kick them down the road for 5 years, or 20. Because a lot of these things have been kicked down the road for 100.
Right.
But there's some critical things on here that I was hyperventilating when I was reading a couple of these things, honestly. Because if it were happening to my piece of property, I would have taken care of it a long time ago. So I'm treating this like it's my property, because it is in a way.
Well, yeah, it's the whole town's property.
It
It's
is.
all of us.
Yep. Right.
Yeah, everyone is,
Right.
yeah.
If we want to wrap up that facility item, I'll just say, don't panic, because the words that you read may mean different things to the guy that actually did this. And because I went through with him, not only on the first meeting house, but on this facility, I kind of know, and it's hard to make everything really objective, but I think he did a fair job. I will insert some of my own professional knowledge on some of these items. And, you know, you can say, oh, Mike's a hair on fire guy. Or you can go, nope, he's pretty objective and pretty calm. You know, he isn't hyperventilating over this yet. However, one of the big things is the structure, the structure itself, foundation. And he does have a strong recommendation there. And just for full disclosure, I happen to be a civil engineer with a lot of background in structures and geotech. So, you know,
Could you elaborate just on that, like, is it a drainage thing? for that?
it's a combination of things,
Yeah.
actually.
Well,
And
Your
if
foundation
you-
is just that, though, isn't
It
it?
is the foundation. We have nothing unless we have a city sound foundation.
And I did more research on the history of the building, and so there's some things that you can read in the history, and I'm not saying these are correct, but they're the best information we have to go on. You can go and look and see with your own eyes if you want to come down there with me. That's fine. I don't mind crawling in dank, small spaces, and we can come together on, do we need to put together a scope of work for some consultation? And then that's an item that I believe should be discussed, voted on, and a recommendation to the select board. And that should happen concurrent with some of these other things, but that one kind of has a longer time frame to execute, because it will have procurement for professional services, and that just doesn't happen today. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, well, and then we addressed Carol's email to the administrator. Did anybody have any questions about that?
Did you hear anything back?
No.
Health permit, we figured out. If we make money on this plant sale, what do I do with?
We would deposit it into the bank account, which I will get you. When I get all these numbers, I'll get a form made with our account number on it that we can just photocopy. It'll be a blank, and we can fill in if we do
And
fundraisers. We can fill it in, it's very simple, and we can hand it straight in.
And it will be earmarked just for us? It won't
Yeah,
be-
it only has our account number on
Okay,
it.
okay, so there will be an account number.
And there's one account then for
To
First
my
Meeting
knowledge,
House.
there's one account.
Because that can
I
get
will-
confusing, too.
Yeah, no.
None of
that's-
those monies are in trust at this point, or anything like that.
No.
There's
it
not
was-
enough, but it, long-term,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was put, the
Yeah.
check was given to the town, and they made one account, because that's the way, and then the
Right.
monies from the toilets and that stuff was taken out of it. So I'll get a total,
Yep.
I will get the bills, and I will get one of those, deposit forms made up with the account printed on it, so that way we can't screw it up. We just make a photocopy.
Account number.
Yeah, photocopy, so it's got a clean one and a photocopy, and you fill it out.
But as far as you can tell, it's First Meeting House is the, that's...
I have no idea what
Oh,
the
okay.
name of it is.
Right.
It's, I would imagine it's something to that effect,
Right.
yes.
Something simple, of exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so and we already talked about the season changing. Can Hunter take down the message that's on the message board?
In the front, we can't find the key.
The key is in that box of stuff that we gave.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'll just bring the damn box.
Yeah,
Just,
it looks more like a church key than a,
I will figure it out, Carol. Where are the letters?
the letters are in the
Yep.
cupboard next to the right side of the sink.
Okay.
All right.
If they're right by the sink, I'll
Yeah.
find it. Yep.
I don't know why they can't leave that key in that box.
Look,
I'm just making a comment.
life
And-
is too short, okay?
Yeah.
I am not in charge of
It'll be
keys.
It'll be easier if it's there. It's always been there, and yeah.
As
Don't
things
worry about
walk
it.
away,
Yes.
that's why.
Is there a duplicate of that key?
No.
Probably not. That's
Can a
probably-
duplicate be made?
Probably shouldn't.
I don't know
Well-
whether, it's a magnetic board, sign
Yeah.
board. I
Yeah.
don't know.
The one that's on the right
Yeah.
that says, you
Yeah.
know, whatever it says from 400 years ago. I don't know, it's 400 years, it's several months
No,
ago.
I think it says something about the concert, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The brass concert?
I don't know. But I'm
I don't
just
remember
saying
what it
that
says now.
if there's only one key, I'm nervous about it getting lost.
Yes,
So-
that's why it's in the box of fun.
Exactly.
See, that's why, to me, it should be in with the letters, because that's where it's going to be used.
So perhaps we
I
can.
would agree
make-
with that. It should stay with the letters
Nope.
near the box.
I will 100% disagree because it will go
Okay.
away. Let me see if I can make a key. Copy.
Yeah.
Great.
How about that?
That's
Then
what
we
I'm
can
saying.
keep one in the box. and
So
keep
we can have one in the
Yeah.
scary
Yeah.
box and we have one in
Yes.
the letter box.
So if it walks away,
That
we
sounds like
still
a
have
good
a
thing.
backup.
Exactly.
So that's kind of,
So is that a point that you're?
I can deal with that.
Okay. If you need
That-
help getting a key made,
Yeah. I'll just go down to Aubuchon's.
well, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
so that kind of dealt with what I was
Okay.
asking about.
All right. I'm glad the whole candle in the window thing, do we want to keep those up or do we want to take those down?
Oh, that
And it
could
was
be
kind of a
seasonal.
discussion, yeah, of the seasonal kind of thing, but some people leave them up year round. I don't really care.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Although it's a very small item, the candles, because we don't have a budget and we have an opportunity to zero-based budget this, if there's any costs we can save, we should take them now. We can always add these things back in. But it just simplifies things. People don't ask questions. What about energy conservation? It just takes it off the table. And we're saving money, no matter how small it is.
Someone's got the refrigerator too.
It's already off. I don't think it's plugged in.
And somebody else unplugged it.
Pretty sure it's unplugged.
Okay.
I'll double check though.
We'll double check.
Oh,
I'll
good.
double
That's
check.
a-
I'll
Which way
walk
should
around
it,
and double
which
check
way
everything.
should it
Another-
be? Should it be unplugged generally, and then if people know they need it, they plug it in so it's ready? I don't know, because,
See,
Who's using it?
yeah, that's it. Who's used, nobody's used.
then leave it unplugged,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Should be unplugged. It helps with safety, it helps with energy conservation.
Right.
I recommend that somebody put something in the door so it
Yes.
can't close.
Oh, yeah.
And we keep the moisture equivalent so we don't get mold.
And safety,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
no, yeah.
That's-
refrigerators
I
can
mentioned-
lock,
Well,
yeah,
yes.
you can
Yeah.
lock someone in, a
Yeah.
child, a cat, I don't know.
Okay. Well, those were my questions.
How is a cat getting in there?
I don't know, but
Okay.
it could happen, theoretically.
Anyway,
Well,
sorry.
through some of the holes.
Okay, well, that sounds good. What else?
I do have a point that Carol brought up here regarding the health permit and water test. Even though we don't plan on any food-related things, is what I was hearing, I think when you commission a building, one of the fundamental things you do is test the water. And I think that that should be done regardless.
Because if
Exactly.
someone drinks it,
Right.
Yep,
If the
you
service-
took
the
the
service
words
is
out
on-
of my mouth and I wasn't even gonna say it.
The surface is on the building, it should be tested.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Could we can discuss that too.
There's
we
some,
have a water testing company for the town.
Yeah.
One of the two that are official? Is that we?
Yeah,
we use
you
that?
have to have an official.
Right, there are two that are official by the town. I help do the water testing in my neighborhood,
But-
pond water treatment,
No,
which also.
No, we have a
does-
company come out and test the
I
water.
I understand.
Yeah.
But it's cheaper if somebody's going there to drop it off, like I might be doing anyway, that
Right,
we
right,
can,
right.
we can arrange it so it's around the same time then. So I'm saving, $130 for somebody coming out to do it.
Oh, that'd be great, why
Yeah,
not?
if you know how to take there's a lot of devils in the
I've done-
details.
we've done
And
this a
While
bit.
we're on water, and not to get too technical, but I want to say it now and be on the record.
Yep.
Water systems sometimes require backflow preventions, backflow preventers, and we have one in this building. And while we're looking into this one, we ought to look into that one.
Right.
It's just on the to-do list of make it item 31.
31. I think it's actually already in there, but
Okay,
I will make it 31.
thank you.
All right, any other new business? Anything else? Yeah.
I'm going to stay on the new business, which I really think is an old business and maybe should be its own agenda item, at least initially here. And that is that, what's the concept of use, both interim and longer term? I brought up, are we going to try and make this cost neutral? Or how cost, are we willing to accept a certain amount of contribution to the cost out of the general fund of the town? Or is this, do people have a concept of a money-making? I think we should strive for cost neutral, that should be a good, and that, otherwise, what I'm gonna say now is not my opinion, they're just things that I think we should address. But I think striving for cost neutrality is a good fundamental business plan, let's say.
Okay, it's a winner.
Okay.
Yeah.
However,
okay.
we're not there yet.
No.
That is not, stage
Strive,
one.
I used a very
Strive.
specific word, to
Right.
strive, and I talked about interim and long-term.
Right.
That would
But
be,
my comments are usually thought through and not just off the top of my head. The next thing is...
Hold on.
Yeah.
I'd recommend we have an actual committee item on that to cover that, and even though we don't have it open to the general public at this point, we should probably still form a committee to start putting together that plan. When it does come time, we can pull the strings on it.
Yeah, because the
Okay.
community
What is that
use-
plan?
Well, he's just
Yeah,
talking about
budget, that's what we're
possibilities, but
talking
the
about, right?
community use plan.
Well, that would be the
what's its
community use
Okay.
that
Exactly.
eventually will take it off my plate to make something right now
Right.
that's only allowed 100 people in there.
Right, so-
But you could have a wedding.
My proposal is to put the plan together now, so that when it does come time, when we are ready to pull the string, we're not taking 2 meetings now to then form the committee, figure out what we want to do, and then come back a month later, 2 months later, right? We have a plan, right?
Yep.
I like that. So that would fall into that community use and
Yes.
function committee. So do you want to kind of take the reins on that committee?
Sure.
what should we
Thank you,
call it?
Jonathan.
Budget or
Community use.
community use?
So it
Just
worked
use
it worked with the
budget.
finances, but the point is to determine housing to use when they come in. We already had some great ideas since meeting 1, right? We already know the wants from certain organizations, so put together that plan, right? Yeah.
So, now that we kind of have a consensus on budget neutrality, some of these potential uses long-term, we might want to consider leasing the facility, and is that on what kind of scope, full-time or not? It is a structure that lends itself to church functions, and we had interest at last year's town meeting regarding that. I'm not supporting or not, I'm just, it's a line item to be investigated. The other one, I already mentioned, PPV, public-private venture. I don't know how many people are familiar with that concept, but it is used, and I think Susan... you-
Westminster, is that
Yeah,
what you're-
yes.
Yeah. Maybe I could bring that information next time, next meeting.
Didn't you already bring?
I
Yeah.
sent, I mentioned it in passing.
Yes,
didn't-
but I think-
I could send it out.
Okay.
And if you
See,
have a
He's
minute,
got something.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
Right.
that's from the sign out in front, and you can take each of those columns and blow them up. I wouldn't mind sort of amplifying on that, though, the scope of that is somebody else bought it, right?
Right.
And that's the public.
That's-
That's a
No,
private.
that's the private
That's the
side of the
private.
public
But what
private
does the town
venture.
still,
I think that's
oh, okay, I don't
beyond the
wanna get-
scope of
but
the
it
Right.
can
meeting
be done,
today.
but I'm not sure this building would
I-
lend itself.
No.
Well,
I think-
that's
I
what the
think
Community
that's-
and Use Function Committee
Yes,
would
yes,
do.
that's,
Yeah.
Right, right.
because if
But
we,
I'll just bring in the information for
that's
that,
a good start.
because
And-
it's just a learning
So
experience,
Jonathan, do you
if nothing
want
else.
do you need help with that committee right away? Do you want
Yes.
to? So you probably should put that up there.
Thank
Of
you.
course, thank you. Lori wants to help you.
All right. So my intention will be to interview surrounding towns to see how they are doing theirs. What functions they do, what groups they do, what the capacity of the building is, so we understand if we want to let a certain group in, what do we expect our building to be ready to do for that, right? So it works in hand with the other committee, the facilities. Well, what can the facility do? Well, what do the people want the facility to be used for, right?
Right, you don't want any big surprises, either like
Right.
some compelling group needs to use it and it'd be, we might all be horrified to think that they would be in the building at all. That's
Yeah.
kind of a crazy example, but you never
No,
know.
it's
You
not
never know
crazy.
what
I
might
think
happen.
that's-
Right.
I think.
This is
I-
America, anything goes.
Yeah, in jest, very facetiously, people know I'm on the committee, and so I've got some input, and I said, well, have you thought about a DraftKings being there?
Yeah. Whatever.
This is not supporting it, it's that, how wide do we want to think? And that's what I think.
Right.
we're
Right, we wanna
leaning
think
Are
on.
there,
John,
are there
Small
checks
town.
and balances in place to
Yeah.
prevent those entities we do not want in that building?
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
whole nother can of
Well,
worms.
that's
Yes,
all
yes,
part,
but
that's
but that's
what we-
all
But that's
part of
part of
that
it.
function.
But it needs to be
Yeah.
at least thought about,
Right.
if not
And-
finalized yet.
There are some edge cases that, we need to talk about that before we let them in, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And to interject, Madam Chair, we have several committees, and I think we formed one of the first ones, and I was thinking two, so that we don't overstress the group, two per committee with maybe a third one, balances out, so everybody gets a job, and an important job on their committee, but we don't have, I think we can't go forward because of the quorum issue.
Right.
So,
But
2 to
if-
3, but
if you
2
have-
might
well,
be the...
If you have two, then you could always pull a third one in, like say,
Yes,
you want to talk to
exactly.
Carol,
For
or you want to
special-
talk.
Exactly.
If they want to talk to me,
We'll
you know what I
definitely
mean, like
need
that kind of
To
stuff.
keep in touch with you.
So right now,
Susan.
you two are the,
We're the Facility Needs Committee.
right. So if I had an idea that I wanted to bounce off, I would just contact you as a guest? I could do that?
Oh, yeah, as
Or-
a, as
All
a
right.
committee
Because
member.
There's not
Well,
a
you
third
can,
person
you
yet.
know.
Well, if they're meeting, in other words, they could meet with a third to talk as the
Right,
subcommittee.
Or we can just email and ask for
Okay.
input, or you
Yep.
can
Exactly.
provide like Carol took the initiative to go to the TA and say, hey,
All this
I
stuff.
need this. I went to the TA and said, we need this, on what's been done and what the costs are. And he's already gonna let me go to our new accountant to try and figure out this part, which the information I'll then send to Susan.
Okay.
What part is that?
It's consulting for the facility.
That was it?
How's everybody doing on time?
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Susan just asked me a question, and it's regarding
The
this report
Yeah.
and what we may or may not have agreed to, and this is stamped draft, so don't know if we ever got the final or not. I will tell you, the one invoice that we have is, that I believe was a paid invoice, is for $725. I believe in a prior meeting, I said that I know it wasn't much, thought it was probably under 5,000. I actually think it was, I could be getting confused because we use the same company for this building also. But I think it was like $1,000 to $2,000. So I don't believe that's the full amount.
That's not complete?
I don't believe so.
Okay, that was an initial.
I have nothing other than my gut and memory
Yeah.
about when we contracted for it. And there was some discussion, and Nate at the time was managing this, and the number was going up and down because we wanted to have a scope that got what we needed, but not overblown. We don't want to study the hell out of it. We needed a quick answer. We needed an overview for problems, and that's what we contracted for. And I think that's what we got, but I don't think this is
No.
all of the cost.
That looks like an initial something, right?
Maybe a deposit or
Yeah.
something.
We can't do deposits, it's against the law.
Oh.
I think that's the full bill.
Oh, wow. You think that's the draft or the
I think
final
that's- I
number?
think that's the full bill. It was a initial walkthrough, it wasn't a full depth.
Right, it was something cheap and quick. They had to
Yeah.
have
Yeah,
information right now
but-
for,
But
Yeah.
unless you were there,
I talked to Nate. Nate would
And-
call me to see if it was a good dollar amount, because I've done these numerous times on my buildings. I own commercial buildings. And I was like, it was a really low number. I'm like, what are they doing? And he's like basically walking around poking things and making sure, telling us what the status is of the stuff. And I'm like, well, then that's a good price. Go for it.
oh, then
Maybe
this
it-
was wonderful then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm shocked.
I am
I
too.
could be wrong, but unless he negotiated something else, it
He
was like
was-
ridiculously low.
Yeah, he was also, because I did this building with the same company, he was asking me similar questions, and I just can't say what the final was. This is gonna be an accounting issue, and we should pay for what we got. And if the billing wasn't completed, then I don't know how he structured payment for it.
There is no structure of payment. You pay the bill afterwards.
Right.
Huh.
So we didn't pay for a draft, we paid for the whole thing, but this is only a draft. So I would have said, this is a good draft price,
Yes.
and then when we get the final, there would be an additional bill.
So can you get us the final? If we paid for it?
I would imagine we already have it.
Right, but can we ask that individual to give us a copy of the final?
You
Instead
could, see if they have
instead of hunting
the final.
down our records?
Would you like me to do that? Would you like me to call, or?
It might just
or
be
you-
quicker than trying to dig through some boxes in a closet somewhere that we don't
Oh,
know
it's
about.
on, it would be in an email, I think.
Okay.
Let's be sure there's not redundancy here. I hear I know I'm interested, I know you said you can do it.
Well, no,
Now
I
she's-
didn't say I could do it. I said you could ask them and see if they can give you a final draft.
Oh,
I
on this
already-
particular
Yeah.
thing, I'm
Yeah.
talking about the whole general, because then.
This bill was prior to the 25. This was paid out of the town, not the 25.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. See,
Yeah, 'cause
those
this
kinds of things. need
predates
to be-
Yeah,
Right.
this was
Right.
before we owned the building.
right.
So
It's used for
somebody,
marketing purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it
Well,
was
to
for informational
tell people
purposes, the
what-
facts.
yeah. Right.
It was to garner the facts.
right. So all of this, the data needs to be put together, and then who is going to be responsible?
I will take for action, I already have a rapport with the individual that performed it, and I've already discussed this with the TA, and I've also been given the accountant's contact information, already talked to the TA and the town clerk about that, so.
I'm just saying, ask that dude for a final copy, and if that's
Well-
how much we paid him.
That was my point.
Yeah.
Go right to the
I'll-
Like,
source.
just go right to the source. Why
Right.
screw around with
Why-
12 other
right.
people to try to dig for the
Hold on.
information?
Well, why spend 3
I
hours
think
looking
I've
for
got
email
it.
when
I
you have
only
a late one?
explained what I already
Okay.
did, so that I was
Okay.
staying in my
Okay.
lane. I just volunteered
Yeah.
to go after contacting the
Yeah.
company because I already have already done so, and that we would want to know whether or not we paid it or if it got lost. You know, you just don't take a consultant or a contractor's word. I will search for the full answer. I won't go to a bunch of people. I got 2 people to go to.
Direct.
One in our government and one at our
Okay.
consultant. I think I got it.
You said
Okay.
accountant, right? So
Yes, a town
Elizabeth
accountant.
is the tax collector. Who's our accountant?
Marcia?
She's temporary
Marcia.
though.
No.
Isn't she?
No,
She's,
she's
right
on-
now.
I've got it, I've got it.
I know, but
Susan.
I need to know
Oh, well
this.
then,
because-
I'm not in charge of the town
No.
business,
So-
but our vice chair.
Right now, she's contracted to a certain date,
Okay.
which we will look at extending or doing
Okay.
something different.
Because like I
She's our
said,
accountant for right
I
now.
needed those CP2 numbers,
Mm-hmm.
which should have been posted earlier than they were. They finally made it to the website. But I'm interested in the numbers here too, but it's not a good look if 3 people are asking, so it needs to be like one.
Yeah, I'm going to find the
So that
numbers
would
for
be you,
the 25,000.
because I'd already
Yeah.
asked Sean.
I think we've got it.
Okay, but I'm talking the whole enchilada here, because I don't want to spend time if someone else is
No,
doing it.
I already
No,
said.
I-
You say
Okay, I'm
yourself.
gonna say it again. Just like he's going after that.
You're
I'm
going after the rest of the
25.
invoices
Yeah,
and the-
and
okay.
what we spent for the plumbing and
Okay.
electrician and that stuff.
Okay, that's exactly
Okay.
it. Because I had asked Sean, because I thought that was going to be my job, but if you wanted to, that's terrific.
No, you're not, because Sean's not gonna give you the answers. He doesn't know them.
I know that, and
Yes.
so the person that really, that one needs to see is Marcia then. Which,
Listen, no, it's gonna be a few different people, so
Yeah,
let me go poking.
Okay.
It's gonna be Marcia, it will be Liz, it will be Heather, and it will probably be Christina when she gets in on the 30th.
Christina
Is our new executive assistant,
Oh, okay.
which starts on the 30th, but I am not going to bug her down with this crap right off the bat. I'm
No.
gonna see if I can get this information before she even gets in the door, so I don't have to bother her with any of this.
Would it be
mess.
realistic for the next meeting, though, do you think, to have those?
I
in?
don't see why not.
Okay, that's good news.
Unless we can't find it, but I can't
It's
see
so
why we,
fresh.
yeah.
I mean,
why
it's in
can't
a,
find
it's
it.
in a list somewhere, right? And Tricia, of course, was the point person on all this. I don't know how, but do we
And
don't
the other
wanna ask-
person, no, don't ask Tricia,
Oh,
that's
that's
not
right,
her
it's not
job.
her
She
job.
doesn't have access to it.
Right, okay.
And the other person would be Travis, because he is head of maintenance.
Right, and some of it's in the initial meeting. She gave a rundown of some of the
Yeah,
things
right,
that were
it's written
done.
down in
So
there.
some of it's
All the
already.
things that we,
Yeah,
that
from
were
the
known at the
toilets
time.
to the lights
Yeah.
to, so we know what some of these are in a general way. We just need to get the specifics. Okay, then I don't need to worry about that for a
No.
while. I can concentrate on CPA. That's a job
Worry about
right there.
CPA. Worry about the plans. Get that together. We work with Carol.
Okay.
Okay, next meeting, April 21, same time, same place.
6 is good. Does 6 work for everybody? It's kind of nice. And then we're
No, I
done.
have 6:30, that's why I'm waiting.
I
Can we-
prefer a little later if possible, but if we have
Really?
to do 6,
Is that the general feeling? What do you think, folks?
I was wondering if it might make sense to meet in the building that we're talking about. to-
Oh.
To get the ambiance and understand.
Yeah,
That's an
I was thinking
interesting
that.
idea.
Let's,
Is that-
good,
No,
good
okay.
thought, but
No.
Bridget?
No, has nothing to do with Bridget. And it does, but it doesn't.
Yes.
Okay.
Because this
Definitely.
room will eventually be all rigged up with the cameras. That's why we do it in this room, because it will
because
have
it's
the
set up.
cameras and it needs to be set up,
Oh,
to
Right,
be
right, right.
videoed, blah,
Right.
blah, 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 blah.
That would be nice
And
later.
also, it has to be
Be
open
more
to the
compelling.
public.
yes.
Because we're
And
here, we're
if there's
insulated.
stairs,
If they're
they
not set
can't
up yet,
get
they
to
could do
us
it.
if they
Right.
need help.
remote access in another building at this
Yeah,
point, because there's no
so-
ramp, yes.
But can we have a field trip?
We can do a field trip, we just have to post it
Yeah.
as a field trip, but that would be something different.
But that way we could,
But that would be more of a walkthrough, it wouldn't be
Yeah.
like, it
It wouldn't be a formal
wouldn't be
meeting.
business, it would be a walkthrough if we wanted to do a walkthrough.
Huh.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, what is the status of the bill? I heard it's cracked.
Yeah, I told you it was cracked. I told you that, what, yeah,
Yesterday.
yesterday. I'm like,
Yes, you did, Kate.
Yes, I did, I'm
Yeah,
like, what
but-
the hell day is it?
So
Yes, it's cracked.
They can't have the clock going at all?
I don't know. I haven't got that far. I've been bogged down, Gary. I'm not even gonna lie. I did not ask that question cause this came up at Memorial Day. We had a Memorial Day meeting yesterday at 12:30. Gary and I are both on the committee. And he was talking about if it'd be possible to ring the bell for the noon time at Memorial Day. So, a ceremony up at the Common. And I said, well, it's cracked. I don't know if we should ring the bell. And I'm supposed to go find out more information about that, and I will. Not even gonna pretend. I will. I don't have the answer to that. I'm not a bell person.
I wonder how many
have no idea.
decades the bell's been cracked.
I have no
Since it
idea.
fell off in 1938 or something. I mean, what would cause a piece of bronze, giant thing casting to
Well,
crack?
they do crack.
They could, if it was rung improperly,
I suppose.
that could be the
I
first
don't
thing.
think
The Liberty,
it's not a huge crack.
Liberty Bell is effective.
Right. It's
it
tough to
could-
cast all that, I agree.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah,
I'm
because
just
that's
wondering
again,
if is this a real problem or are we
I
making
don't
a
know.
problem?
do we
haven't
know
had
the
time to
last
look into it.
time
Right.
it was rung?
It's a rhetorical question.
Can I have?
No, asking the bell
Sorry.
expert.
Sorry.
Do you know, Gary, when it was last rung?
It was wrong at the,
Well,
Yes.
a few years ago, I know.
At the turnover.
at the turnover.
At the little
It
ceremony.
was
Okay,
wrong, it was not meant to be wrong, but it was wrong then.
okay. And before that, was it years and years and years
No.
and decades?
A year and a half before that, when the clock was working, it was being wound and it was striking the hours.
I was under the impression that the clock is still being wound.
Has not been wound in a year and a half, because
Okay.
It needs some love.
In
A
2010,
little
they had
bit, I
a,
think.
the clock was restored in
Tangway
2010.
was making a new gear,
Okay.
and when he was ready to put that in, but so far,
I haven't heard anything.
that's up to the town, the historical commission.
Who's in charge of the clock?
The historical commission.
Yeah, we had it restored in 2010, and then, of course, we were calling you up, getting it going again, and you said it was too cold in the winter to keep it going.
Right. And when it's in the spring, when this wind, it's not the too cold, it's the weight of the snow on the hands, the ice and the weight, and the gears are ancient, and they can't deal with the weight of the snow and the ice. And then every time, when it blows, like we've been having these lovely March winds, the whole
Oh,
thing
I've
shifts.
been up there when it's like, it's scary.
And you don't really
The
want
whole
your clock
steeple-
pieces moving
moves,
when
yes.
it moves.
Who's
Oh.
responsible?
So it was made
Historical
basically
Commission.
from
Historical
April
Yeah, I'm chair of
to
that committee.
end of October that it was being wound and the clock was ringing. Brianna Whitney is the official clock winder.
And Brian Tangway, he's waiting for the okay to go up there and get it running.
Now that's up to you. Yeah,
Well, it's up, Gary, so if you're the historical commission, and she's saying it's a historical commission, it's not up to her, it's where, I got a key, okay? So we
Well,
can
Brian
get
Tangway,
this.
he's ready to go up there with
Okay.
my okay, but I haven't gotten that okay yet.
Okay, I'm saying okay, how about that? This
Okay.
committee is saying okay, right? Or no?
Because he might feel that
To
it's
fix
safe to...
to fix it, but
Yeah,
it's a,
not turn it on, but to fix, to
Okay.
do what he needs to do,
Yeah, the
right?
clock has a striker that hits it, comes out
hits
the
the-
it doesn't
time.
have to be, you
Where
can,
pulling it is gonna be more damage with the rope.
Well, the rope has been taken down.
Yeah, the rope isn't there.
So maybe it's safe to have just a
yeah,
gong
because
hitting
it
it.
just strikes the bell does not actually move
Yeah,
when
Right,
the
just gets-
clock
A little
strikes.
Right.
Okay.
But you can have the clock running without have it chiming.
yeah,
But if you're gonna have the clock running, the clock has to be wound once a week. To have it chime, it has to be wound twice a week.
okay.
And that's
I mean,
because,
To go up there,
Yeah.
yeah, to go up there and do
the
it.
reason for that used to be go whole
Is there
week,
a key
but
to wind it, or is it,
No,
no, you just.
It's
do
a-
something. Okay, all right. I wasn't sure if there's another key that we,
what's,
like, oh God, is there another key we gotta find in
We
this
need-
box?
We need a keeper of the keys.
Yeah, I know.
it's a huge granite block that they crank up there.
So is,
So it takes a week for it to come down, but when they built the kitchen at the church, it can only go down halfway, so they have to do it twice a week to wind up, because the kitchen's taking the space where it's supposed to.
okay.
Drop.
So,
Huh.
I would like to make a motion to have Tangway go up and assess, look at whatever he's fixing, keep fixing if need be, and give some opinions on whether or not we can, later when it's not so windy, what we can start, what we can't, if we can ring the bell, if he has some input on this, because he is a very good clockmaker and looks at this kind of stuff.
I'll second that.
Okay, that was a really long, sorry, motion.
Come on,
But yeah.
finish.
You got the
Yes.
gist of it.
Yeah, you got the gist of it, though.
So I got the okay then.
Well,
No,
you.
hold on,
you
there was a
can't get
motion,
it.
it was seconded, the
All
chair.
right, all in favor?
Are we gonna
Oh,
discussion?
discussion.
When a motion, then I will want to say that we normally, when we don't do open-ended things, and maybe we put a budget amount, or we say, go and give us a cost, so we know the scope of what he thinks needs to be done and what we get out of that.
I heard out of this conversation that the Historical Society was taking on that part.
Commission.
Correct? Sorry.
Commission.
They have a
Correct.
budget
Very
line
different.
Correct,
for
so,
the clock.
so there's no financial liability on our part
Oh.
to have this guy come in and service the clock, correct?
Isn't there a 200 amount in the commission? Every year I see it. Couldn't that be Tangway money for that? Because that is a
Because
job.
Kingway has not charged us for some
Okay.
things that he has done.
Well,
It's an
perhaps,
honor
I'm
for
just saying
him to
it's-
work on such an antique, one-of-a-kind clocks.
Yes.
The only thing that would cost something is to repair the ladder up to the clock tower. There are a couple of rungs that are broken, which make it a little on the sketchy side.
Whose responsibility is the ladder?
Well, it's part of
The building.
the
now.
building.
It's part of the building?
It's part of the
So-
building, so
It needs a, yeah. But if you're
31.
gonna send,
Under-
if you're gonna
32,
send,
sorry.
if you're gonna send somebody up into the
Well-
bell tower, that ladder needs to be.
What I can do is ask our head of DPW maintenance,
Yes.
Travis, to assess it and see what
What
it would take to
right,
make
to-
this a little
safe.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, safe that we could get up there and do
Yes.
this kind of stuff, because
It's
he.
just a repair, a
Yeah,
couple
it's
pieces
gonna
of
be a-
So
rungs.
your motion assumes there'll be no financial implication with this, correct?
I wouldn't
Okay.
allow anything to go forward if Travis says like,
Yep.
well, it's gonna cost $50 or whatever.
That's what I
would
think-
bring that back
that's what I think he's
first.
getting at, yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
I would bring it
alright.
back first
Yep.
before it
Okay.
would be a.
is it possible to put a dollar amount now that the committee would agree on, that no more than $100? If it only costs $50 to do it, it's not more than $100 to just go ahead and fix it. Can we do that?
I wouldn't until we know he might have scrap stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Right,
stuff that
but
he-
just
might have a
saying,
couple
just go
nails.
ahead and do it.
So that we wouldn't
before-
have to
I
come
think-
back. It could be
Exactly.
in motion.
I think 1 month is fine with letting it, from that visit to the next meeting, I think that should be ample
Okay.
for us to
Would
put
it
together a plan,
be,
right?
is it going to be safe to have Tangway do
Yes.
what he needs to do with rungs that are not in function?
No. Right?
So Katie just
I
said
don't
that you would
think
have
it's-
Travis come in and look at it
I will,
first,
I can
correct?
have Travis come in and look at
Okay.
it first to see.
Okay.
And,
So,
Assess what it would take.
yeah, and it's not like it's not,
There's no 4 rungs missing, right?
yeah,
No,
it's not
it's-
like that. It's just, it needs a little bit of love, to my recollection,
Yes.
and you can still get up there.
Yeah.
You just,
I was up there
With long
a
legs,
couple months ago.
the first,
Yeah.
When we visited, right?
Yeah.
So it's not unsafe. I went up there
Yeah.
when Tristan took her and I up there.
Yeah, it's not-
fine to get up there.
Okay.
It's just-
It's a ladder.
yeah. I
Yeah.
just
It
prayed
says
up.
it all, straight,
the bottom
vertical
rung
ladder.
is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we just need a little bit of love up there, and I
Okay.
Who goes
don't
up
think
vertical
it's-
so
ladders,
should we
you know?
say no one should go up there before, or give the go-ahead?
Let me get Travis up there, and then I will, once Travis gives me the okay to, like, we addressed whatever the issue, like, if whether he wants to put another rung or whatever, and then I can get with Gary to bring up Mr. Tangway, so he can repair it.
And if anybody's interested, I have a video of the clock being taken apart, restored, and put back in place.
Absolutely.
And that video's on YouTube.
Oh, cool.
So if Gary Kangas Productions, all my videos come up, and it's called Restoration of the Meeting House Clock.
Nice.
I'm writing it
So you might enjoy seeing that video if you haven't been up there yet to see it.
Maybe that could be on the website. That's just, between the clock and the bell, the specialty things, because they are both very special. So that's something to think about. Maybe I can get the information from you and ask Melody.
Would no
Melody
one
to-
else is talking.
Melody to post it. Do I have to ask permission for that?
For what?
For posting things, or,
I can send you the link
What do you
for the
post?
video.
just thinking that that might be appropriate for the website, the clock,
Yeah.
yeah. So.
Mel.
It's already
Put it on
post,
there, but, yeah,
I
it's
mean,
on-
Gary's posted it. We
I
can
know,
just.
but if I was interested in the building, I wouldn't, and I don't know Gary, I'm new to town,
Mm-hmm.
if it was right there, I'd say, oh, but otherwise, I wouldn't Google it
Well, the
for any reason.
cable people, they posted on local access. And then they sent me the link that I can send you a link, and you could post the link.
If it's okay with the committee, I'm just wondering if there's a certain protocol I need to follow.
And I also.
Can we deep link the YouTube video on the town
That's what I'm thinking. I
website?
think you have to put the link of.
Yes, you deep link it basically. Yeah,
You can't
take the
put the
YouTube link and you put it on the
video on it.
website somewhere.
It's on the town YouTube site as well.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, it's already there.
Well, then
All
you
right.
so we
just
don't
need a
want to
link
be
to it.
redundant
Well,
then,
it's
okay.
not in the
I
menu.
withdraw
it-
that, I'm,
Other people post stuff, so it gets lost.
So it's already up there.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
right, so then you just need a link to it from the Meeting House page to that
Yep.
YouTube.
Okay, so, yes, you
Through-
have something?
Yes, through the chair, Katie, would you
Okay.
accept a friendly amendment in that there were some items that were identified, they're really low-hanging fruit, but if we got someone going up there,
Yep.
we might as well take care of some of these items. The screening to keep the pests out.
All right.
That might as well, it's low-hanging fruit. He can.
Where is that?
It's in the bell tower.
Oh, okay. Up top.
So,
Okay.
so there's the bell, there's the pendulum, there's the works, okay. So it's up there, all of that should be, because we don't want birds getting up in there nesting and roosting, and this is easy, you know.
Pigeon poop, pigeon poop.
Yes, you know, if we're gonna preserve things, let's start with some of those easy things.
That's an important one.
It's, yeah, that'll just take a couple, yeah, it's a couple.
So I think Katie accepted the friendly amendment to
Is it just that
capture-
one? Or is it
I think it might be two,
Okay.
but I'm trying to think
It
of, I'd have
looked
to go
like there was
back and
one, it
look.
was, according to this, there was one mesh missing, which may be
Or
in that town.
detached.
Detached.
It might be
Yes.
fixed.
That's
by
all
now.
it takes for stuff to get in, so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
it might be fixed by now, because Travis has gone up there a couple times.
He's
Okay.
amazing. We
Okay.
are very fortunate to have.
But I will double
Thank
check
you.
and look. I will visually, like, screen.
Okay, so we have a motion
And a second.
Yeah.
and a second.
Discussion's been done.
Discussions, yep, so all in favor?
Right?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? All right,
All right. so
Travis is gonna
It's
look
on my
that.
to-do list. He's gonna love me.
Make them some cookies.
Yeah, I know.
What kind of cookies do you like?
Any kind.
It's amazing
Now,
what you can
did
get done
we
with a batch of
want
cookies.
to think about the 6:30 change meeting time?
Does anything meet here after normally? at
Clearly
6
not.
meeting?
We're thinking Tuesdays
If-
as a
Yes.
If we
recurring,
plan ahead
right?
enough in the future, I don't think we have to worry about overstepping, correct?
I don't think there's anything on this day. That's why we.
Well, last two times we've overlapped.
Well, that was
We're
on a
on
Thursday.
Thursdays.
That was on,
Thursday.
Oh, okay,
That was on a
okay.
Thursday.
This, I don't think there's anything on this Tuesday.
Yeah. The six is kind of tough. I can do it, just it's tough.
I can do
Yeah.
6:30.
6:30.
I'm flexible.
6:30's good?
Okay.
I had
6:30,
6:30
is that
down
okay
and
then?
He
that's
was
why
already
I'm
here at
late.
6:30, so.
6:30.
I didn't know it was 6.
Okay, so 6:30. Somebody wanna, do we need a motion?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Well, make a motion for our next meeting.
Next meeting
Yeah.
at
You don't need a
6:30.
motion for
Eh, you don't.
meeting. No.
Okay, so 6:30 then.
Okay.
Tuesday, April 21 at 6:30.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. And Mike has made a motion to adjourn.
Second,
Third.
I'd like to have some discussion on that, please.
Non-debatable?
non-debatable, yes. that was
No.
it.
Aye.
Aye.